because of this Ponzi, because of all these Ponzi schemes, all these useless compensation plan out there, that has damaged a whole lot of people's reputation. All right. So because of that, I was already saying goodbye to the industry. A lot of opportunities came to my table and I practically rejected it. Why? Because I was ready to bid farewell. But when I saw VendorXP, then I remember how God has blessed me with this particular compensation plan. And I said, no, I'll be doing myself a big disservice if I still leave this industry without coming to make some serious money from this compensation plan. And when I dug deep, when I dug deeper into the compensation plan, I realized that even some loopholes in the compensation plan that I remember that I'm talking about, VendorXP has filled it. I'm not talking of small money here. I used to believe this normalcy. I call it normalcy because it is actually true that only about 5 to 10% of leaders who join network marketing opportunities are the one making the big money, that the rest are only being sold future that are never attainable. And I'm telling you, it is very, very close to the truth. But this compensation plan defied that, normalcy. Because for the very first time, I've been working with teams in their thousands, I've been working with a whole lot of people. And I realized that truly only a few percentage of us are actually making serious money in all the companies I have joined. Not because these companies are not good, but because there is always a limit around the compensation plan. And there is always, there is a way the compensation plan will structure your earning, or may I say will limit your earning. All right. But this particular system, this particular compensation plan, for the very first time, instead of the regular 5 to 10%, I can say for a fact that we had more than 60% of people making serious money. I am talking of tens of thousands of euros. And the big leaders, people like myself and some other people who actually took the business very, very serious. Some of us, made hundreds of thousands of dollars with this compensation plan. So what am I trying to say in essence is that this compensation plan is actually arguably the best and the most highly rewarding compensation plan in the industry. I say arguably because I know definitely some people would want to argue it with some things that feels like facts. All right. But the truth is, if you understand the game, you'll be able to know truly that this is the best compensation plan. All right. What I'm about to share with us is not a rocket science. It is not a magic. It is just a common sense. All right. But before I begin to share the strategy we used to, permit me to use the word hack. By hacking, I don't mean to, do what is wrong or something. But how would you use to, discover what seems to be like a cheat for us, making so much money than every other person in the company that I'm using as an example here that use this exact compensation plan? Because since that time, I have never seen this compensation plan in the industry again. All right. So there are few strategies we used to maximize our results in the same system, whereby somebody who is doing exactly the same thing I'm doing were making, people who were doing exactly the same thing I was doing were making like half of what I was making. And a lot of people even, a lot of people wondered, how are they doing it? I wasn't the only one doing it anyway. All right. So I'm going to be sharing those strategies that can help you build this kind of compensation plan with speed and, of course, make big money with less effort. All right. But like I said, before I share the strategy exactly, I want us to know that, of course, every business, be it network marketing, VendorXP, or another company, or even the conventional businesses, every business requires strategy. So until you discover the strategy to maximize the business, you are just going to be one of the many that are doing the same business. All right. So now, strategy apart, there are a few other things that I need us to have at the back of our mind so that we can actually get the best of the strategies I'm going to be sharing. And number one is that you must be ready to build big. If you are here for a couple of dollars, this might not really be for you, honestly. Maybe you are just here to make some money because you want to buy a phone, or you want to buy a gadget, or you want to pay school fees. Of course, when you make a lot of money, you definitely will be able to afford all of these things. But then, if those are, your why, then they're not big enough for you to be ready for the strategies I'm going to be sharing with you. And if your why is big enough, even facts, what seems like a facts, they don't count. Because I know a lot of people have excuses why they would not want to build big, why they would not want to do the needful. But when your why is big enough, the reason why you are here, the reason why you come to VendorXP is actually big enough. All those things that looks like facts will no longer count. All right? So it depends on what is pushing you or what you are pushing. It depends on what you are running after. I mean, what you are pursuing or what is pursuing you. So I don't know what are those things that are, that you are afraid of. Maybe you are afraid of, a kind of certain lifestyle that you don't want to live. You are afraid of probably what happened to someone near you or something, or you're afraid of your future. How is it going to, if you continue to do what you are doing, what does the future hold? So I'm talking of your why. So be ready to build big, all right? And before you can build big, your why must be very, very big. So I'm trying to say all of these things before, because nothing happens outside our mind. Everything that happens, the big money and everything you're going to achieve in VendorXP actually start from your mind. So when you have this big mindset of hitting it big, all right? However, this is not a Ponzi. This is not an ROI Ponzi whereby you are told to just drop your money without doing anything. You want to expect times 10, times 100 of your capital overnight without doing anything. This is also not for you. All right. Apart from building big, you need to understand that you need to be consistent with it. You must be ready to build consistently. EJ said something when he was giving us a speech before my session here. He said even the complicated, some outdated plans, some old companies that some of us are familiar with, people are still achieving success. Why? Because they built long enough. They are consistent long enough. Because there are some things about life, that responds to some principles. Nothing can stop them. All right. So I'm talking about this principle of you building for the long time, you building consistently. And apart from building consistently, I think I already mentioned that, be ready, have a mindset of a long time. This is not where you come and just make few. If that is what you want, it is fine. Just like EJ said, if what you are looking for is $1,000, $2,000, or $5,000, that's fine. But if you want the big money, also be ready to build for the long time. I'm saying all of these things so that you will practically understand that what you are building, you have idea of the end, even from the beginning. So you will be very intentional about all the steps you are taking. So what are the strategies I would recommend? This is the table that powers the infinity bonus, which is where some of us look at as where the big money is. Big money, fast money, easy money. All right. So this is actually the table that powers it. And ordinarily, the way it works, if you sign up, this is you on top of the table. All right. This is you. And the system says, fill this table with 6 people, the remaining 6 slots, and you get paid 170%. And you can fill this table the way you want. All right. You can just invite 2 people and tell them to do the same, and the table is filled. Then you are repositioned for free again. Wait for these people to complete their table to come and meet you, or invite more people. That is the normal way. All right. That is the normal way, one account. But I am telling you, like I said, what I'm sharing is not for the people who are coming for the small money. They are the people who are ready to build business and make big money. So if you want to build with speed and for the big money, the very first thing I need you to understand is that you need more than just one account. You need more than just one account. I decided to talk about our mindsets and things we need to know before I talk about multiple accounts. Because I realized that in a system like this, some people will think, oh, maybe it's for me to fill these 6 slots. And once I fill the 6 empty space, I will continue to earn. Meanwhile, you are filling this empty space with probably your unborn child or a baby that cannot even talk, talk less of doing any business. You are built, in other words, you are filling this spot with dormant people. No, that is not the way. All right. And when I mean multiple accounts, it does not mean that this multiple accounts will be the end of the journey. And once you have multiple accounts and you expect to continue to earn, no. Now, how can you create, what are the best way for you to create multiple accounts, for you to be able to run with speed and also make money? There are two basic ways. There are two basic ways. You will choose the one that works for you. The first one is actually to build triangular. All right? Build triangular. What I mean by triangle is you on top, then still make yourself you and you. That forms a triangle, right? Then you begin to build these two accounts wide. Forget about this two that you want to just give this one to, you want to give this one to. Of course, these two accounts have settled this. And as long as you mean business for your remaining two accounts, for these two accounts, as long as you mean business, this first account is settled for life. Just keep checking your honey, all right? So what you need to do for your two accounts, for your remaining two accounts, is just to build as wide as possible. This table is only to give a structure to your income. It does not mean that once you get your two, that's all. We're talking about strategy here, remember. Strategy for you to make big money. Strategy for you to build with speed, all right? So you want to continue to give as many direct as possible to this account. Why? Because not all fingers are equal. Some directs are more active than the other, all right? So now, instead of you waiting for just two people to complete their table before they come to meet you on the new table when you close the first table, now you have more leverage. You have more people. And when we talk about building wide, that is what it means. It's not a bad idea if you can give yourself a target of having minimum of 10 directs. Minimum, like minimum. You can have 100 directs. You can have 200 directs. We're talking of big business here. And, I'm talking of long time because some people will be thinking, oh, how long will it cost me? Will it take me to be able to get 100 directs, to be able to get 200 directs? Remember, we are building for a long time. And this is a business that demands our daily attention. Even if you are not going to be spending the whole day, at least do something every day on this business. And before you know it, you'll be having hundreds of directs and thousands of people in your team. So what you should do for these two accounts is to build as wide as possible. Keep giving these accounts direct. And the time is coming. Your accounts, your system, your income will tell you whether you've done enough. Because practically, with just this simple explanation, you can be closing a table every single day. This is something we have experienced before. All right. Now, another thing that will happen that makes this more interesting is that if you are building, this first account is settled, right? Now, if you want to even leverage more, continue to give these accounts to direct, build wide on these accounts. So you are building wide for your three accounts. You are building wide for your three accounts. All right. Now, what will happen is when this account, this guy, when the table is about to close, you know that this table is almost closing. Go and check your first accounts and make sure that the table has filled up and you have only one person left. Then leave the table. All right. And quickly work on this second one or this third one. What will happen is by the time this one also remains one, a single registration is what you need to close this table and get your 170% twice. This applies to all the licenses, VXP 30, VXP 100, 200, and 500. The same thing. Now, you have used this table, one stone to kill two birds. Remember, you still have these accounts. All you need to do is just watch these accounts. The moment this table remains one as well, you are building this because this would have been, reset for you. So you are building this and you're watching this. You have some directs there who are also working. So the moment this one remains one, check your two accounts and look at the one that is remaining one or two, fill it up. The last registration will close this table and always close this table automatically. So you don't really need to bother as such on your first account anymore. Just keep working on this second and third accounts and your first table will be closing automatically. Meanwhile, if you were working with one account, one registration that we're talking about will only close this table for you. But the same one registration we close this second table and the first one. It will always close this third table and the first one as well. So every last spot on this table is also a potential for your first account. That's 3 accounts, right? An unpopular strategy also says, if you have the capacity, if you are a serious business person and you are doing this full time, it doesn't hurt if you have more than 3 accounts. I am not preaching that anyway, but I'm sharing with those who can genuinely run this business, those who really mean to make hundreds of thousands of dollars and possibly millions of dollars from this business. It is more than possible. It is more than possible. In the business I told you as an example, now I'm speaking this at the risk of being misunderstood by some people, but I hope you don't misunderstand me anyway. In the business that I told you about, we did not just make hundreds of thousands of dollars from the business. We were so intentional about it. It may interest you to know that I ended up having more than 30 accounts. I will not say that twice so that some people will not misunderstand it and be using their money. Don't make that mistake of thinking that you stacking money in the business is what will make you money. It is the multiplication, the duplication. So you are just doing this multiple accounts for you to have more leverage for yourself. That is the first strategy, ladies and gentlemen. The second strategy is also multiple accounts, minimum of 3, but you can continue as much as your power can carry. And what does this strategy, what does it look like? That one is actually linear instead of triangular. And what do I mean by linear? All right, this is you. This is you. All right. Try as much as possible on your first account, this first account that you created, close that table. Close that table. Either you invite 2 and tell them to do the same. Close the table. Why am I saying you should close the table first? It's because this serves as a foundation. And if you can close 1 table, you can close 2 tables, you can close 3 tables. So the moment you finish this first account, the moment you close your first table, use that account to refer yourself. All right? I hope you know that when your table resets and the table, you are now having a fresh table, your direct comes directly to you. No interference. All of these people that filled your first table will not interfere. All right? They are coming to your table, but they stay at the spots that they have. All right? So once you close your first table, use this first account to sign up another account, making your second account, and it stands like this. So this is you, this is you. Now, you may want to ask, what is the reason? Why must you close your first table before you open your second account? The reason is you are building a foundation for this first account. You are building a foundation for this first account. Now, these 6 people that close this table, you have them to these accounts, and you will understand as we proceed. So when you open your second account, you already have 6 people to leverage on. While you are waiting for them to come and meet you on your second table, you want to settle this second account. And by the time you settle this second account and you have just 1 left to close the table, or maybe 2 left, just keep checking your 2 tables. You will see that this table, because of the initial people you used to close that first table, they are also building to make money, all right? They are filling that first table already automatically. That was the essence of you closing the table first, having people working on that table, all right? Now, the moment you know that you have just 1 left here, come and build the second one and make sure you have 1 left. So 1 single registration, we close this table and we close this table. Remember, you have all of these people in the first place tied to that first table. So that first table is technically settled, all right? Now, you are getting referrals in excess. You can give this first table more direct to make it cycle faster, all right? And you give this to more direct. But the moment you cycle out this second account as well, which automatically cycles your first account in the first place, the moment this one also completes its first cycle, use this second account to create a new account for yourself, all right? This account is technically settled. This first account is also technically settled on autopilot. You have people tied to those accounts. Don't forget, all the people you have tied to this account are also helping these accounts. So now concentrate on the third account, start building that one, and keep watching the first two. Let the initial people, as they are coming to join those tables, be watching. And the moment you have like 1 or 2 left on this account, go and check those 2 tables and make sure they have just one left to complete the cycle. Then come and put 1 registration on this account. This single 1 registration will close this table for you. It will close this table for you, and it will close this table for you. 1 registration, 3 tables close instantly. All right. So it means that if you are on VXP 100, for example, you will get this $170 3 times, multiplied by 3. Somebody operating 1 account will only close it once. And once you close your third table, once you close it for the first time, these 2 accounts are settled. The third account is also settled. If you want to continue, but make sure you are intentional about it. Don't do it out of greed. You must be strategic about it. Once this table also completes its own first table, you can create another account, making 4 accounts. This is totally optional. This is what I am doing, and it's highly rewarding. I am telling you. These 3 accounts are settled. They are settled already. And everything you do on this account is further pushing this account, pushing this one further. So concentrate on your last account again and watch this one growing automatically because you have some leaders there. So concentrate on these accounts. Once you build this 4th account and you are having just 1 left, all right? Just 1 or 2 left. Go and check these 3 tables and make sure that they are always filling. If they are not filling, give them more direct and make sure that the table gets filled and you have one left on these 3 tables. Then look for 1 registration, put on your 4th account, which is this last one, and this last table will close. It will go and meet this upline. It will go and meet its upline, close this table. This table will go and meet this one, close this table. This table will go and meet this one, close this table. So it means you close 4 tables with 1 single registration. And if you are getting $170, you get it multiplied by 4 with just 1 single registration. Nothing is as powerful as this strategy I'm sharing with you with this particular system. If you are building with 1 account and you genuinely can afford 2nd, 3rd accounts, as a matter of fact, I prefer this linear because it helps you to concentrate your efforts, all right? And as you are building, you continue for as long as your mind can carry, sincerely. Just make sure you are very intentional about it. In that former business that I told you about, that I said I made the biggest money I've ever made, sometimes 1 single registration, a single registration will close 5 tables for us, 6 tables automatically. I'm sure I have Mr. Jin here. He was my upline in that business, and we were making some crazy kind of money using the same strategy that I just told you, that I'm just sharing with you. All right. Don't forget, you have leaders. As you are concentrating on your last account, you have people already working on this account. So from time to time, even without waiting for that last registration that I said will close all of this table for you, this table will be closing on their own. But don't forget, this line of connection can never be broken. That's the power of the strategy. That's the power of the compensation plan. So I'm telling you, if you understand and master the strategy that works for this, our compensation plan, I am telling you, you will make the kind of money you have never made in network marketing before. I'm speaking from practical experience because this works. It works all the time. So if you are building with only 1 account and all your effort, you will have to wait until your table gets, these people return to your table, or you keep referring on 1 single account. And 1 multiplied by 1,000 is 1. 1 multiplied by 1 million. Or okay, it's 1 million. What do I want to say now? 1 million multiplied by 0 is still 0. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Now, what am I trying to say? 1 account is what you have. It doesn't matter how many direct you have. You are still going to be closing your table one after the other. I mean, you're going to be closing your table once. You close it again once. You close it again once. But if you build this way, the way I just explained to you, one single registration, from time to time, you'll be experiencing ripple cycles, and you'll be making serious money. By the way, I am not just teaching from past experience. It is something I have experienced in VendorXP, not once, not twice, because I'm very intentional about it from the beginning. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is where I will stop for now. But do not forget that this strategy only works for people who are ready to build, those who are ready to do business, not those who are coming with Ponzi mindsets, not those who are coming with an ROI mindset. All right? This is a business that if you can work it, it is extremely, extremely rewarding. Now, imagine you have all the licenses. You have all the licenses and you are building this way. All right? You will just wake up and you would see that you have closed VXP 33 times, VXP 100 3 times, VXP 200 3 times, VXP 500 3 times, all the same day. What kind of feelings are you going to have by the time you start experiencing that? And as you concentrate on this linear formula, do not forget that your team is expanding. All of these people you are using to settle your initial account, you are also encouraging them to build. They are also exposed to all of these trainings that you are getting, and they will continue to build. So a time is coming that you will no longer understand how your table is closing. You are just checking your account. Sometimes when I do presentations in those days, my first slide used to be a live account. I will log on to live accounts, my live account as my first slide. And everybody will see what is there, 50,000 euro, 80,000 euro, or whatever. All right? And when I do a presentation of 40, 45 minutes, my last slide is usually my live account again. And I will log on to the live account. And within 45 minutes, I may have closed up to 2-3 tables. This same system, this same compensation plan. And that time, a table gives you a lot of money. No, I know a lot is coming in VendorXP that I don't want to start, talking about. But then, we are in for something big here, guys. We are in for something big. But all of those results, we were able to get it. The results we are already getting in VendorXP, we are able to get it because we are committed to the system, because we are committed to the big picture, not what is happening now. Because I know some of you may not be making, some of us may not be making as much as we expected from the beginning because of the mindset we're coming with. But all of these results will only come when you keep an eye on the big picture and you are committed to that big picture, you are building consistently, and you are also ready for the long term. I am telling you, the next 1 year, VendorXP is there. 2 years, VendorXP is there. 5 years, VendorXP is there. All right? Now, if you look at those who are succeeding in any network marketing company you have seen before, go and check very well. They are the one building for the long time. They are the one building with strategies, not just running it as a sprint or something. All right? They are the one building for the long time. And one thing that strikes my mind sometimes, most of the time, is that now you are as old as some of these people in network marketing industry. Just like EJ said, some people say, oh, I have spent 30 years in network marketing industry. Somebody said that to me, and I said, well, your 30 years is as good as my 5 years. I'm not 5 years old, by the way. I said 5 years out of the years I've spent in network marketing is probably better than your 30 years. And what am I trying to say? The 30 years you have spent, you have probably joined more than 50 companies. And somebody, since 10 years ago, is still talking about one company and is building with strategies. And this same person can count up to 5, 10 real estates that network marketing has given him. You would see these people, they have traveled more than 20 countries, all expenses paid. Why? Because they are consistent and they stayed with the vision. When you stay long enough, even complicated plans becomes easy, because at the end of the day, the ripple effects will begin to reward you. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is where I'm going to stop. I want to believe you've gotten some value already. Thank you.
Wow, 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 wow. That's a very powerful presentation, Tony Aluko. You really nailed it. And I want to take with your last reference that it is not by how far, it is by how well. So whether you have spent a decade or 2